You're walking through the airport, carrying your bag, following the same little rituals you've done 100 times before, but without realizing it, what you're wearing is quietly determining how security treats you, how comfortable you'll be on the plane, and even whether you're seen as an upgradable passenger in the system. Most travelers never get told this. Airlines won't warn you. TSA won't say a word, and stores in the airport will happily sell you clothing that actually makes your trip harder, slower, or more expensive without you ever knowing why. But today, we're going to break all of that open. This video is for anyone who wants to travel smoother. Seniors, families, budget flyers, first-timers, or season-frequent travelers. Because the truth is simple. Airports are built on psych-based systems. Your outfit signals your risk, your comfort level, your preparedness, and even your status. And the airline industry relies heavily on patterns. Once you understand what your clothing communicates, you stop being an ordinary passenger, and you start being a strategic one. And by the end of this video, you'll know the 12 outfits you should never wear to the airport, the real reasons behind them, and the subtle, smart traveler look that gives you smoother security, faster boarding, and even better treatment at the counter. Let's begin. 1. Don't wear complicated, hard-to-remove shoes. Airport security is a pressure cooker. Everyone behind you is in a hurry. Everyone in front of you is fumbling with bins and belts. And you know who slows the entire line down? People wearing shoes with complicated laces, straps, zippers, or hooks. Why does this matter? Because TSA agents are trained to focus on flow interrupters. Anything that slows the line creates suspicion, because historically, nervous or inexperienced travelers, and yes, even smugglers, often wear complicated footwear. That means if you show up with shoes that take more than a few seconds to take off, you're automatically flagged for more attention. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're disrupting the flow. And here's something most travelers don't know. When a TSA agent thinks you're slowing the line unintentionally, they'll move faster on their side. But when they believe you're slowing the line because you're hiding something, their entire tone changes. The fix is simple: slip-ons, light sneakers, or single-lace shoes. They make you look prepared, calm, and experienced, which instantly reduces scrutiny. And if you're a senior traveler, this matters even more. Not because you're a security risk, but because TSA's assistance profile gives more leniency to passengers who look streamlined and easy to help. You'll get more gentle treatment, more patience, and faster processing when your shoes don't cause chaos. By the way, if that surprised you, wait until we get to mistake number 4, because that one is so counterintuitive that even frequent travelers get it wrong. 2. Avoid heavy, oversized jewelry. It sounds harmless, right? A chunky necklace, a big bracelet, a metal watch. But here's the hidden truth. Jewelry is one of the biggest causes of secondary screening, and TSA deliberately avoids telling passengers this because they know people won't want to remove expensive items. Those beautiful accessories, they're often made with layered metals that set off scanners inconsistently. Not always, just enough to raise suspicion. And scanners aren't just measuring metal. They're analyzing density pockets. Heavy jewelry creates dense clusters that look like objects pressed against the skin. That means one thing to security algorithms: possible contraband. If your jewelry triggers a false alert, a pat-down becomes non-negotiable. And nobody wants that. A smarter move is this: wear minimal, small, non-layered pieces. Better yet, keep statement pieces in your carry-on and put them on after security. You'll feel lighter, you'll move quicker, and you'll avoid drawing unnecessary eyes. 3. Skip bulky jackets and coats, unless you want to get pulled aside. Most people wear heavy outerwear to the airport for one of two reasons. They don't want to pack it. They think they'll get cold on the plane. Both make sense, until you realize airline systems have no patience for bulky fabrics. Here's why. Bulky outerwear creates irregular shapes on scanner images, which leads to more bag checks, more pat-downs, and more delays. And that big fluffy coat you're wearing, it's an automatic "please scan me again" magnet, especially if it has padding, hidden pockets, or thick lining. But there's a more interesting layer to this. Gate agents and flight attendants subconsciously categorize passengers based on appearance. Large coats fall into the inexperienced traveler category because seasoned flyers almost never do it. They know it slows security and creates chaos during boarding. If you want to look like someone who gets priority treatment, even when you don't have it, opt for a thin, structured travel jacket with clear lines. It signals preparedness, efficiency, and respect for the system. And that impression follows you all the way to your seat. 4. Do not wear shorts on the plane. Ever. Yes, here it is. The shocking one. Wearing shorts to the airport seems harmless. It's comfortable. It's easy. It feels smart in warm countries. But shorts are one of the worst mistakes you can make in an airport or on a plane, for reasons most travelers never hear. First, airplane seats are almost never cleaned as well as people assume. What looks clean is often not. Multiple flight attendants have admitted, wipes happen. Deep cleaning doesn't. Skin-to-seat contact exposes you to sweat residue, bacteria, cleaning chemicals, and surfaces that thousands of people have sat on. Second, planes get cold, unexpectedly cold. When the cabin drops 5 to 10 degrees mid-flight, your body temperature follows. Cold passengers fidget more, complain more, request blankets more, and often become minor disruptions. Airlines don't care about your comfort, but they do care when you disrupt cabin service flow. Shorts are a cold trap. Third, emergency situations. No one thinks about emergencies, but flight crews do. Evacuations often involve metal slides, rough surfaces, and heat exposure. Shorts expose your skin to burns, scrapes, and friction. That's why crew training always recommends long pants for passengers. But they're not allowed to publicly advise it. Shorts feel free until they leave you freezing, exposed, or uncomfortable. A lightweight travel pant does everything shorts do, but smarter. Breathable, layerable, safe, and respectful of the space your body will share. 5. Don't wear clothes with metal buttons, clips, or plates. This is the silent security killer. You think you're dressed perfectly? You think you look sharp? Then suddenly you're standing in the scanner with your hands above your head, watching a TSA agent raise an eyebrow at your outfit. Metal accents create hotspots on the scan. The algorithm flags them as anomalies, which forces manual inspection. And if you have them on your hips or chest, you're guaranteed a pat-down. Even worse, metal in clothing slows you down at every stage. Security, boarding, even during turbulence when you shift around in your seat. Most passengers don't realize that airport scanners are trained to interpret unusual shapes on the body as potential threats, even when harmless. The more metal on your outfit, the more questions your body raises. This is why airline crew clothing is designed with almost no metal. They need smooth transitions at every checkpoint. Minimal metal equals maximum speed. 6. Avoid tall platform shoes or thick boots. If you want a fast, efficient airport experience, avoid anything with exaggerated height or heavy soles. Boots and platform shoes look fashionable but create several problems. They take longer to remove. They trigger alarms more often. They restrict circulation on long flights. And here's the big one. They can be considered a tripping hazard during evacuations. Airlines won't ever tell passengers this publicly, because telling someone their shoes could slow down an evacuation, well, that's not good for business. But cabin crews notice them instantly. If you're wearing heavy boots, you'll be treated cautiously because you're seen as less agile. That means slower boarding, stricter enforcement of instructions, and sometimes even being asked to remove them, not by TSA, but by the crew. A lightweight shoe not only gets you through the airport faster, it keeps your body safer during turbulence and rapid disembarking. 7. Don't wear perfume or strong fragrances. Most people don't know this. Cabin air is recycled every 2 to 3 minutes. That means if you're wearing a strong fragrance, the scent doesn't just linger. It spreads through the entire cabin like wildfire. But here's the real problem. Many people have fragrance sensitivities that trigger migraines, nausea, and even breathing issues. When that happens mid-flight, flight attendants have to locate the source, manage the sick passenger, and sometimes take action, including reseating people. Wearing strong scents puts unnecessary attention on you during a moment when the goal is to blend in. More importantly, airlines secretly track passenger disruptions. Anything that causes crew intervention, even unintentional, gets documented. You don't want to be on that list. Wear clean, neutral clothing. Save scents for after the landing. 8. Avoid clothing with offensive or controversial graphics. This should be obvious, but it's actually deeper than it looks. Clothing with political statements, profanity, or provocative images triggers scrutiny, but not from the people you think. It triggers scrutiny from gate agents, not TSA. Gate agents have the right to deny boarding to anyone wearing clothing they believe could cause disruption, conflict, discomfort to families, or escalation inside a confined cabin. And they're encouraged to be strict about it. Most people think airlines don't enforce this, but they do, quietly. If your outfit is bold, graphic, or controversial, you become a potential social risk factor. Airlines want planes calm, they want zero conflict, so they restrict anything that increases odds of confrontation. Wearing neutral clothing not only keeps your trip smooth, it silently increases your chances of receiving help or consideration, because crew members don't categorize you as work. 9. Don't wear complicated layering systems. Everyone loves layers: hoodies, sweaters, jackets, scarves. And layering is smart. Cabin temperatures change often, but complicated layering is the killer. Multiple layers with different fabrics create strange scanner signals. Cotton over wool, polyester under leather, knitwear over nylon. Each layer absorbs and reflects differently on body scanners. That means inconsistencies, and inconsistencies trigger checks. Plus, if you board the plane with heavy layers, you create clutter. You're slower storing your bag. You take longer to sit. You obstruct aisle flow, and flight attendants lose patience quickly. A clean, smart, simple two-layer system is ideal. A breathable base, a soft mid-layer, and an easy-to-fold outer layer. It signals experience, and crews treat you differently when they sense you're someone who knows how to fly. 10. Avoid tight, restrictive clothing. Here's something flight attendants talk about all the time among themselves. They can spot a future inflammation passenger from across the aisle. The person who's tightly wrapped into their outfit, the person who's going to swell at cruising altitude, the one who's going to ask for water repeatedly because they feel strange. Did you know your body expands slightly as the plane climbs? Cabin pressure drops, blood flow shifts. Tight waistbands, tight sleeves, and tight fabrics work against your body the entire flight. Restricted circulation leads to stiffness, discomfort, agitation, and in worst cases, mild dizziness. It doesn't matter how stylish it looks at the airport. Tight clothing becomes your enemy at 35,000 feet. Loose, breathable clothing signals confidence, comfort, and freedom, and crew members give more grace to passengers who look like they're taking care of themselves. 11. Don't wear clothing without pockets. This seems small until you see how much faster passengers with pockets move through the airport. Pockets matter because airports demand constant ID access. Check-in, security, boarding, immigration. Baggage claim. Passengers who dig through bags delay every stage, and that delay is noted by staff. When you look unprepared, staff treat you like someone who requires extra explanation, even when you don't. Passengers who look organized get smoother service, minimal questions, quick processing, more trust. Even a single zippered pocket changes the entire energy of your airport journey. 12. Do not wear anything you'd be afraid to damage. This is the invisible airport rule almost no one talks about. Travel outfits should be durable, not delicate. Why? Because airports are rough. Bins, belt systems, scanners, seats, jet bridges, luggage storage, trays, escalators. Everything is built for speed, not gentleness. If your outfit is light-colored, fragile, expensive, or requires special care, you're constantly on edge. And anxious passengers attract more intervention, from TSA, from staff, even from fellow travelers. Plus, in tight spaces, delicate clothing rips easily. Stains happen, snags happen, pulls happen, and nothing ruins a trip like starting it with damage you can't fix. The best travel outfits are low maintenance, neutral, durable, and flexible. And if you're loving these insights, the kind of smart, insider travel intel most people never get, make sure you're subscribed to Boardifly. This channel is built for travelers who want to fly smarter, not just cheaper, and we break down the hidden systems behind every flight so you're always ahead of the crowd. When you walk into an airport, you're entering a structured ecosystem, one built on risk analysis, speed, pattern recognition, psychology, and efficiency. What you wear tells the airport exactly what kind of traveler you are: experienced or inexperienced, high risk or low risk, calm or chaotic, prepared or unpredictable. And when you dress strategically, suddenly everything changes. Security feels smoother, staff interactions feel easier, boarding feels faster, and flying becomes what it should be: simple, confident, and controlled. Here's the master mindset to remember: dress to reduce friction, not create it. Every layer, every fabric, every accessory should work with the airport system, not against it. A quick recap: simple shoes, minimal metal. No bulky coats, no shorts, no strong fragrances, no complicated layers, no provocative graphics, no heavy boots, no tight clothes, no delicate fabrics. And always pockets, comfort, breathability, mobility. Your outfit is your first pre-flight decision and the one that determines how the rest of your journey feels. Before you go, I'd love to know, what's the worst outfit mistake you've ever seen someone make at the airport? Drop it in the comments. The stories are always wild. Subscribe for more hidden travel intel, share your own tips, and until next time, fly